Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mage, Somnambulist. It's good to be back. It's been 3 weeks now since but
It's been a minute.
Hopefully everyone enjoyed the shows I put on. We did a microscope, which was a lot of fun. It's essentially world building collaboratively. I don't know if you've seen the video. I made a thumbnail which is possibly a crime against humanity, and also possibly the most clickbait title I've ever used in my life.
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a hell of a thing. I can't remember what it was called off. It's like our camel overlords neglect the whale threat to the chicken equator. All of that makes sense if you watch the video, interestingly. And then the thumbnail is like a camel looking at the camera with chickens on this road, and then whales like zooming towards it. It's a whole thing. Anyway, that was fun. We also reran all of Moonkissed over 2 Mondays. So people... No, sorry. We reran all of Glitch, and we are currently rerunning Moonkissed on Mondays. We've done the first episode, so... if anyone new has watched Moonkissed, the first episode is pretty much the whole show. It doesn't change much from the first episode, does it, Mandy?
Well... I mean... I don't know. It gets a little emotional.
Yeah. I can honestly say that Moonkissed is the only show I've done that I haven't rewatched at all.
I can't rewatch it.
First episode I can do. After that, it's like no.
No. I can't do it.
So it's a rough one, basically.
But holy shit, what a good show.
Yes.
Like,
very much enjoyed doing that. It makes me want to do another werewolf show. Like, nothing similar at all, completely different. And not, Werewolf the Apocalypse, because, no offense to World of Darkness, but especially Werewolf the Apocalypse, that shit's goofy. I had the 20th anniversary edition, and some of the art in it and everything is it's like looking at an anime. A bad anime. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Wandering Inn. Hello, welcome everyone. Hope you're enjoying your time here. Anyway, if you want to support... I don't know.
all over the place today, man.
All over the place every time I have to do an intro.
No, this time it's worse.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Well, good. Wonderful. So,
That's what he wants to hear.
if you want to support the show, if you want to support the channel, essentially, there is a Patreon. Go check it out. And all of the money that comes into the Patreon goes directly into paying the cost of all the shows we do. For now, the Monday show is completely covered. We're getting closer to covering an additional show, at which point there'll be 2 shows a week. Probably on a Friday. Having said that, before we go any further, because otherwise I'll probably forget, and hopefully this will work, we have a trailer for something coming up in January.
Ooh.
No, that's the outro.
But Chad is seeing a great trailer.
Yeah,
It's not
supposed to be a black screen, which honestly, great trailer.
1 second. Minor technical difficulties. Sure, that works. Give me the trailer. Please work this time. There we go. So yes, we have Dragon Riders Season 2. I want to say coming back. Yeah, Dragon Riders is coming back. We're doing a Season 2. As you probably saw there, January 6th, so beginning of January. We also do have a show coming on Mondays, but it will take a little bit of time to start compared to Dragon Riders. It's probably going to be later on. But I will give you a little sneak peek, seeing as you're here, and seeing as I kind of already... No, not you. Seeing as I kind of already showed you it. There is the, let's call it, poster for the next Monday show. As you can see, there's a building of some kind in the fog, and it's called the Cutie. So...
Ooh.
Oh, that's the... Yep. So that's all the info you have for that currently. But Dragon Riders Season 2, a show called The Cutie on Mondays. I'll probably post those up on Twitter and stuff after this show here. Maybe tomorrow. Because, yeah, it's not sure how long I'm going to be conscious after the show, to be honest.
You're probably going to pass out right after this, yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably. And, yeah, the only other thing I was going to say is for the Patreon... not for the Patreon. Go check out Twitter. Give me a follow there if you want to get notified. There's also a Discord if you want to be notified via that means for when we do shows and everything. I've even been so organized as to put up a schedule of our shows on the Discord. There's a little channel you can go to called Show Schedule, and it tells you when all the shows are playing and etc. It's quite impressive for me, at least. And finally, if you are interested in supporting the channel and you're like, hey, what if I sign up on the Patreon for $3 a month or something? There is one thing I'm doing on the Patreon currently that might be of interest to people. I'm doing a watch-along series where essentially I pick a really obscure piece of media that I love and I watch it. I record myself watching it. I talk about like what's happening and everything. And it felt to me like a really good idea in the sense of you'll be able to watch something you may not usually watch in kind of like a once a week basis and just get into a show that you wouldn't usually get into. Currently, we're watching Girls' Last Tour, which I imagine no one knows or has heard of, but it's a really interesting anime. I was wondering if Andy maybe has heard of it, but no, okay. So yeah, we're watching Girls' Last Tour. It's really interesting. It's about two cute anime girls riding a Kettenkrad with World War I, World War II rifles in a post-apocalyptical wasteland.
Sounds like an anime, alright.
If you watch the first episode, you'll be hooked, I swear to God. Like, it's just one of those things. So
Actually sounds solid.
I recommend it. But you know what I recommend more? Subscribing to the, donate to being part of the Patreon and watching it with me. But yeah, if you are interested, that's a little something. I have more plans for Patreon stuff. It'll just, take time. So is that everything? I think I mentioned everything I usually mention in a kind of rambly off the way.
I think you got it.
Yeah, I did a good job.
Yeah.
I didn't. So horrifically embarrassing intro out the way. Let's talk about what happened in the previous episodes of Mage, because it's been a little while. So we had a interesting meeting with Morgan.
We did.
We met Charleston. Was his name Charleston? The hanging man?
Yep.
Who guided the girls in to meet Morgan. Had a little bit of a chat with Morgan. There was some hurt feelings. I see. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Morgan delivered a pretty harsh, burn on Nell, right?
I can't exactly remember what it was, but I can remember it out. It was there, yeah.
I remember getting a death stare from Syrinx being like, "Oh, whoopsie." Essentially, the general consensus and plan was to try and enlist the help of Kildara. Kildara being the entity created by Guinevere a long time ago. Essentially, what she wanted to do was create a source of kind of infinite magical energy, all of that type of thing. And which was actually kind of a bit more successful when Sesha accidentally did it. Along with sorry, Sesha, that puts all of the blame on you. Accidentally did it with Kira and the whole kind of conflagrance of everything. So they decided that the best way to find Kildara probably would be to go to try and find Gem Kira. So headed that way, found a constructed giant maze type thing within a another void of in the spirit world. Essentially, there's no spirit energy there. It's all kind of quiet and peaceful and dead and inert, essentially. So I'm just remembering what I did to you guys as well. Upon looking at the entrance,
Looking back on a fond memory.
Well, upon entering the maze, you guys were like, "Okay, let's hold on to each other's hands. We're gonna walk in and we're gonna go together." And then immediately got caught in a Baba Yaga fate trap, basically, and all went off in different directions. Nell ended up confronting, let's say, Merlin. Sesha found her way to Baba Yaga, and Alfie found her way to Kildara, who was contemplating the gem. And strewn around was I believe there was the sword. Was it a pure black sword or a pure white? Which one is it that you have, Sesha? Is it the pure white or pure black sword?
I have the black one.
Okay. And there was words exchanged between all three. At which point I believe Baba Yaga was like, "Okay, screw it, let's have a fight," and essentially turned into venom from the from DC comics, the one who gets all roided up and like super bulky and all that kind of thing. At the same time as Nell, essentially squared up to Merlin, who... Is it fair to say Merlin was emotionless and distant?
That's very fair to say.
Yeah.
Cheapy, thank you.
So... Okay, we will...
A little tip, Sheepy. Music isn't audible on stream or for us anymore.
Oh, is it not?
No, I checked it. Oh, someone says I hear nothing at least, and someone says it's very low volume. I'm also hearing
Oh.
Very
nothing.
low.
I did just turn it off. I was about to switch, but it's very possible that that it's a bit low. So I will
All right.
I'll turn it up a scooch. So we will Sasha. You are faced in front of a much taller, much more jacked up version of Baba Yaga. And I believe she is charging towards you. Kind of in a kind of like, here I come, Sasha! Wait. Here I come, Sasha.
You always wear the brutish type. You know that, right, Baba?
Apologies. It's been a while since I've been Baba, and I was just like, how would she respond to that? She'd probably just scream and keep charging. So, yeah, she essentially, one thing that you notice is that she's not heading straight towards you. She's kind of like headed in your direction, but to the side. And as you say that, she kind of like, as she's running, it seems to be a fairly like standard kind of speed that you'd expect from maybe like an American football player who's, like charging through or something. And she slams her foot down and disappears. As you feel like your hair like kind of whips around your head as she like speeds quite straight past you. Now, first thing I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to roll me time and it will be time and occult, which will be, I believe, 6 dice. Oh, okay. That is 2 successes. Enough for you to know that there is no time manipulation going on. She is essentially moving possibly kind of close to the speed of sound off her own muscles, essentially. And she starts to kind of like ping around you at exceedingly fast speeds.
I'd like to use my time knowledge, my time ability. So I'd like to, since I've spent so much time with Baba, I'd like to pretty much see if I can have a perfect sense of time and like predict like what she's kind of going for.
Okay. In that case...
Or like where she's going to be striking.
Yes. In that case, please roll me your time, and this will be... think wits. So I think that'll be 4 dice.
Okay.
What's just constantly rolling like 4 dice versus dice pools of like 12, 14 or stuff like that.
Okay. 3 successes. Yeah. You're not sure what she's attempting to do. But you see as she's kind of going, you see these moments where you can kind of step in and impede her run, or, you know, either get in the way or distract, you know, a moment's distraction.
I want to try and trip her a little bit. Obviously, I
Okay.
don't want her to fall over, but I want to kind of like trip her just. I know she's very, very fast, and she's probably going to be able to pick herself up immediately after I do it because she's so sped up.
Yeah.
But I still want to trip her anyway.
I mean, you do have your sheathed sword. If you want, if you don't want to like break your leg, putting your leg in the way or something.
I would like to use my cane.
Okay. So let's go. You know what? It's a timed thing. It's not a dex. It's not a. You just know when to hit the right moment.
Yeah.
So essentially, as she's almost trying to create a tornado maybe around you or something, possibly, you do a quick hop step to the side and just kind of slam your cane into the floor, and you feel like a kind of jarring judder as Baba like swings around and hits the cane with her foot, essentially one of which has to give way, which is her foot. The speed that she's going, she starts tumbling, and she essentially rolls for about... I mean, she was going so fast that, yeah, it trips her up, she rolls, and you hear this, like, horrific, like meaty crack as she hits one of the walls, kind of on the side, and her arm, like, this big, like, muscled arm, you actually probably see a bit of bone protruding as it just goes like that and just like bends against it. And there's kind of probably about 5 seconds of her kind of stunned, just lying there. And then you start to hear cracking again as her arm like back round. The bone goes back in, it kind of rights itself. And you couldn't even see like the little area, the wound where it was, just starts to close up. And she looks at you and says, "It's a neat trick, but..." Sorry, what's that? How audible is that, by the way? It sounds not very audible. No. Okay. Oh, I'll stick with this. It's a neat trick, Sasha, but how many of my legs can you trip up? And she braces, and you hear this kind of like, kind of wets, like, as more legs start to kick out from her sides. And 2 more come down, almost like robot legs to the side, you know, that kind of like vibe. And then a couple more like come out of her back and kick down and like that.
Baba, you know, what? I had something for this, but that's. I'm sorry, I don't have anything clever. That's just absolutely disgusting. You look like a giant old tortoise.
Well, now I'm a little bit faster than a tortoise.
Well, you do know the story about the rabbit and the tortoise, right?
No, I was not taught that.
Well, faster isn't always better.
We will see. and all six of her legs start to kind of like clod and plod towards you, and like she's making much further distance than before, just purely because the legs are kind of like, you know, moving her quicker. It gets to a point where there's always a point where one leg is propelling her, so they're all kind of working, not in tandem, but, you know, like, to propel her forwards. And she starts moving towards you again, like, quicker and quicker, starts to speed up. And then she essentially charges straight at you this time. A lot faster, and I would say, depending on what you want to do, you have a moment to react, but barely even a moment. As she speeds up, she kind of hits this, like...
Yeah, I would like to, well, trying to think.
So, she's pretty fast. As a reaction, you can speed yourself up to move out the way.
I was just gonna say, could I speed myself up, like, to like, I'm not saying I'm gonna completely dodge her, but, like, I don't want to get, like, the whole brunt of the impact.
Yeah. Again, this will be time and gnosis, which I believe is 6 dice.
Da, 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 da.
Okay. That is 3 successes. Okay. That is 3 successes. So, essentially, in the moment, you channel your time and you let kind of time flow slower around you. Everything around you starts to slow down. You yourself, obviously, via this, speed up. And you manage to mostly get out of the way. The charge itself, Baba essentially like clips your shoulder and sends you spinning a little bit. You don't actually get knocked off your feet, but you feel that impact. Like it's got a good, like, hefty kind of smack to it, almost like you've been punched. It kind of spins you around, and when you stop, it's enough time to see essentially like these huge like grooves in the sand and the ground beneath you, where she's like dug her heels in to stop herself, and they go on for like a good 20-30 meters, where it's like and the ridiculous legs plod as she turns herself around and like sets her eyes on you again, and she starts to move again, and we will move over to Nell.
Before that happens, I'm going to flourish and turn around and take off my jacket and flash it to the side and go, "Ole."
Nice. So, Nell, you are in front of Merlin. He hasn't made a move yet.
So what? You hurt my feelings and now you're gonna make me throw the first punch as well?
It's not really my style to throw a punch, although I guess if you like, I could. If that would make you feel better. And
That would make me feel better.
he raises his fist, and he's like a long way away from you, just FYI. Like rears it back a little bit and just really slowly, like, just pushes his fist forward towards you.
I'll have a reaction in mind, but first tell me.
3, 4, 5, 6. The resulting sonic boom, essentially he broke the speed of sound. And it I would say roll me sorry, how are you reacting to this?
I was planning to react by letting myself like having a portal underneath my feet to kind of like temporarily go between spaces.
Okay.
So flopping underneath my feet and then come back out like above
Above.
so that I may miss the wave of whatever he sends.
Okay. Very doable. Don't even need to roll for that one. I will say that when you come out of the top, your feet are carried by the wave. So you do come out, and I'm sorry that I'm doing this again.
I know what you're gonna say. I land on my fucking face. I
You-
know what you're gonna say.
You land on your side. It's a little bit of a fall, and it's not very but it essentially you can tell what happened because this is forces. This is within your realm of knowledge. He didn't even really need to use his fist. He essentially sent a sonic wave at you. Not really super damaging at this speed, at least, but enough to knock you off your feet, enough to like really kind of, you know, maybe leave a bruise. But it also covers a large area, so it's kind of like a shockwave of force.
Right. The moment Nell falls onto the ground, on her side, she makes a little cough, just wipes away, and then punches through the floor, or punches through the ground to have a punch come up above him.
Like kind of down onto his head.
Yeah, so she, like, because she's on her side,
Mm.
because she just fell, she'll use that position to just behind her,
Just like,
as she learned.
Yeah.
Punch through the ground and then try to punch him on top of his little old man head.
Okay. Please roll me your melee and force. Is it brawl and force or melee and force? Sorry. I think it's brawl.
Brawl, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? It's been so long. Okay, 6. Got it.
It's 3 successes. As you punch down and your fist goes through the portal in the floor, and the portal opens up above his. Are you aiming head, shoulders? Like you have kind of limited.
Full on head.
Okay. Your fist comes down. You feel this impact, like weighted with your kind of kinetic force that just smashes down on the top of his head. Are you looking at him, or is this kind of like hidden, you know, you got like your back to him kind of thing? You're just like,
I'm not looking at him.
okay. So the impact just smacks, and you hear like a crack that kind of echoes around this open room area. You withdraw your fist and
I look. And I, like, push myself off the ground.
he is standing there. He hasn't moved or reacted, but you do notice that his feet are like a little bit indented into the sand. Like it looks like he's been kind of pushed down.
As I push myself off of the ground to come back to like a stand / crouch, I start running towards him while I mutter, I truly despise people like you. And I start running with the intention of, if he wants to aim something at me, I want to try to keep running but portal myself out of the way. And if he decides to move himself with space, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But yes, I'm not planning to stay at a distance here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you start running towards him, he holds up a finger and points it at the sky. And after about half a second, this flash.
Can I swap? Jesus, can I swap places?
Swap places with him?
Yeah, as he starts pointing his finger towards the sky.
Okay. You swap places with him. In the instant before the electricity of the lightning hits you.
Mm-hmm.
Please roll me your forces and gnosis.
Mm-hmm.
As
Can
you
I try to redirect it?
You can try to redirect it if you like.
As it hits me, because electricity is one of the things that Nell is most familiar with.
I will say roll your forces and gnosis with 1 extra dice. So I think that'll be 7.
I'm so happy he did that. So 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
You got this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you willing to take some singes?
Yeah, definitely. I think Nell was expecting him to do some kind of force stuff. The moment she saw him put his finger up to the sky, she was like, he's gonna do this like really out there electricity thing. So let me just try to take him out. So yeah, definitely willing to also feel it course through her body.
Yeah, so you get jolted reasonably hard. You manage to control the amount you get jolted, so I'd say like probably your fingertips are numb, your hair frizzes up, that type of thing.
I think definitely Nell has like the idea of being like a transmitter at this point.
Yeah. You probably have like kind of blackened fingertips and stuff, just like some really reasonably bad burns. Nothing horrific, but it was more power than you're ready to handle, essentially. But what does happen is the lightning comes down, hits your fingertip, and then wraps around your arms like barbed wire. Essentially, what he was doing was he was calling down lightning to equip himself with. A little bit like he did before with the... So you now essentially have barbed wire hand wraps. Except
I have gloved barbed wired.
Except for their lightning. So
yeah.
you managed to take that off him.
Yeah. And Nell doesn't stop her, or doesn't try to stop her momentum, despite like having taken that hit as well.
Yeah.
And she'll try to just like she'll move as if she's like going to run like immediately towards him again, and then we'll try to shorten the distance between them and punch immediately.
I would say part of the failure means it takes you a little bit of time. Enough time that he has turned round and he has his hand open in front of him as you run towards him. You start to see a a little ball of what looks like maybe magma, slowly growing and like getting larger and larger. And he just has it out in front of his hand, like he sees you coming towards him. And
Yeah. As she sees that, she's fully intending on,
oh,
because she's a very physical person, she's
Yeah.
fully intending on, again, running towards him and making him feel like she's going to just run up to him and punch him. But yeah, she wants to punch and then again make it come from somewhere he doesn't expect. Let's try to do his feet.
oh, do you want to maybe go for the back of his knee, kind of like?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
again, like now somewhere at the back of him, but somewhere he doesn't expect it.
Yeah. Okay. Again, very, very doable. It's not something he's. Even if he is expecting it, it's not something he can really.
It's a fist fight, baby.
Yeah.
Brawl. You never been in a bar fight.
You can't really. If someone can punch from anywhere at any time, at any distance, you can't really predict where it's going to come. So I won't have a roll for this. Essentially, what happens is you see his knee buckle as your fist comes out, and you feel like the discharge. We'll say it's your right fist, yeah. You feel the discharge of the electricity as it bypasses what you can only figure is some kind of like telekinetic field, essentially against impacts and stuff, and actually like hits his leg, and kind of essentially the lightning arm wrap that you had discharges into his leg, and as the force knocks his knee down and he goes down to one knee, the electricity kind of like sizzles and burns like his leg. It gets fairly charred, and yeah, him with some electricity there. He also kind of, as he goes down, and like there's a little grunt there. As he goes down, he actually closes his hands on the like weird ball of magma, and it looks like he's trying to contain it as opposed to manifest it at this moment. And I will ask you for your wits and forces, because you might be able to figure out what he's doing.
Yeah.
Two successes. I tell you what, it's not quite enough to figure out what's going on with what he's attempting to do or what he is doing. But if you have any ideas, I can at least tell you whether you're on the right track.
So it seemed like he had a ball of magma in his hands that
I can
he
tell
was
you,
growing.
you're pretty sure it's not magma.
Oh, okay.
It just looks a bit like magma.
Well, what does it? So what does it look like? Because like magma can, it's red sizzling.
Has Nell ever looked at like a science magazine or?
If anything like this would have been out in Merlin's house or desk, yes.
Then yeah, I mean Merlin has science magazines and stuff, so she's probably, you know what it looks like? It looks like the front cover of some of those magazines when they show the like photographs of the sun.
Oh, of the sun.
Yeah.
So, is he trying to do something? Either heat or light,
Or both.
or both.
Or gas.
All right. I want to try. The moment Nell sorta has that train of thought, she has the moment, like the moment of thinking back on her moment with Kilja, and she wants to try and put a box of vacuum around Merlin.
All right. I I believe that ended up being a spell, yes? Something that she can reproduce. Like, she got some practice at it, and
She got some practice at it. I didn't write anything down about it, but
yeah.
it was the whole scene with Killja.
I would say that's doable with maybe enough time for him to get back on his feet and stabilize what he's working on in his hand, but not enough time for him to actually do anything. So essentially you like pause your charge and take a couple of moments, get space, get your forces, you kind of like mix them together and create this kind of box around him that is essentially a vacuum. He smiles, holds his hand up and lets go of the ball, and then steps out of the box with this kind of like slowly growing orangey magma looking ball, very slowly getting bigger.
Very slowly getting what?
Bigger.
So he just holds out his hand and walks out with the ball.
Yes. Oh no, he leaves the ball within floating in the box.
Yeah, okay. So he left the ball and he steps out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like hurting old people.
You haven't hurt me much yet.
Hear you grunt.
I was not expecting you to swap with me.
Guess you should have paid more attention to your tutelage instead of only thinking about your own plan.
My plan is all that really matters. If you like, I could finish this now.
You keep saying if I would like it and if that would suit me, but that kind of voice definitely doesn't fit this whole situation. If you would do what I would like and if you would have taken that into account, things would have been a lot different. So I take it into account now.
Well, I do not have much to do until the new existence is born.
Midway in his sentence, not expecting it probably because normally Nell does listen to him. She'll teleport out and wants to end up right next to him to just physically punch him in the face.
Okay. Is it just physical? No kind of like kinetic force or anything?
No, and like she has the gloves of Alfie on. Well, I guess I do have the kinetic blow.
And you
as a thing she
yeah.
normally does. So I think she'll like it's not a thing from a distance. She comes up close and like it's all the movement of a normal blow, but it has like the force behind it. That's a bit more.
You do also have lightning on your left arm still, and you're wrapped around your fist. So.
Oh, then I use that one. Silly.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I would like to, in the middle of a sentence, just get real close and punch him in the face.
Okay. Please roll me again your brawl and your forces, which I believe will be 6.
Do I get a surprise dice?
Yes, okay. I'm amenable to surprises.
Oof, I needed that one. 2.
2. It hits. I would say more likely than hits. The there's enough of a shift for him that he moves slightly out of the way. The lightning itself still connects with his face and essentially leaves like a kind of like scarred burn across like his cheek there, like down to his neck, as it kind of like scores across his face.
I think at this point, emotions would take control a bit too much. So instead of trying to maneuver out again, she'll try to just like punch again.
Well, at this point, he is going to 1, 2, 3,
Oh boy.
4, 5. He's going to as your like your fist goes past him, he like moves slightly out of the way, he gets the burn along his cheek, but that movement, he kind of steps away and he shoves his hand out, and your whole left arm freezes. Essentially, for a moment, you feel like maybe he's affecting the like with telekinetic forces, like grabbing your arm, and you realize that he's essentially taken control of the lightning, and the lightning itself starts to grow down your arm, like twist around you, and you realize that it's kind of still lightning, but it's turned almost into like snakes that essentially wrap around you and start to bind you. As they get to different parts, like to your shoulder and stuff, they essentially immobilize your shoulder. He has essentially taken control of the lightning.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a definite struggle for a moment there. Can I now imagine these, like, because you say it essentially becomes like snakes. Can I imagine these strings as physical objects now?
Yeah.
As they move? Okay, I think the immediate reaction is not to try to brush it away, but to try to temporarily touch it and make it disappear, co-locate it outside of this space.
Okay.
If Nell assumes that it's more like a physical thing now, she would try to do that.
I would say it's very doable. When you do, you'll essentially take a bit of the electric shock into your arm, which will essentially like numb up your hand, like maybe up to your elbow even. But the lightning itself gets where you said to get back to house.
Yeah.
Okay. Some very confused electric snakes like drop to the floor near the burned out house and start slithering around for a bit and then dissipate, but no one sees that. And essentially, he has stepped away from you, back a bit more towards the void box that you set up with the weird magma ball thing in it. And he's now facing you again with his arms folded.
Yeah. Nell will start storming towards him again, but like not running, but angrily walking. As she says, "What? I thought we weren't afraid to throw a fucking punch." And then she wants to, a split second after that, she wants to swap places again to disorient him or try to.
Okay.
Away from the box.
Away from box. Okay. There's probably a moment where he is still kind of standing and staring. Unless you make an immediate like move at him, he is essentially going to just turn around, keeping his arms folded, and look at you and say, "It is a good trick. However, it does not have much effect. Maybe 200-300 years of solid practice, and you could start
Again, I
to...
interrupt his sentence.
Mm-hmm.
If you sheepy would like to still talk, please do. But if I wait till the end of the sentence, you'll go something like, and now he does this grand thing.
Yeah.
So
Feel free to interrupt him.
Nell is definitely interrupting Merlin at this point. And she's going to try to... Wait, I have... No, I had an idea, but I cannot finish the idea. So instead, she's going to punch again because she doesn't quite understand the shadow reality thing yet. So, but this time from a distance. Hit him in the knees again. In the back of the knees. But this time without any electricity.
Yeah.
So just like try to punch there.
Kinetic force or just a regular punch?
A kinetic punch.
Okay.
And just say, I've had it with you fucking people in your monologues.
As you say that and you punch, you feel the connection. This time you're looking at him, however, so you see the like spark as your kinetic punch hits some type of shield that essentially negates the force of impact. It moves his leg very slightly. His leg kind of like skirts forward, but he is essentially pretty much unmoved. And as you withdraw your fist, he says, "Don't you feel you're a little too close to the sun's center of gravity?" And then he puts his hand out, and you feel yourself drawn with ridiculous amount of force and pressure towards your box of void. And what is a slowly growing... Yeah, it's a slowly growing sun. And we will switch over to Alfie. So. Obviously, this is a little bit shifted forward in time. However, I feel that this is an important thing to touch on before we go any further. As Kildjara has clicked his fingers, you realize that you can't, like, those things that are always second nature to you, being able to see and sense things like death, what things are made out of, have disappeared. And if you tried, you try and like manipulate the sand or any materials around you, you realize you can't.
Oh, no, not like this. Whoa, okay, way too much. Oh God. What did you do? Can you undo that?
I can, but it would mean that they'd be able to use magic again.
You can't just like isolate it?
Maybe with contact.
Shit. Okay. But you can undo it. That's the thing. You, like... Oh, I don't like this feeling.
It won't last forever. But it should mean that your friends won't instantly die.
Okay, that's. Is this a kill or be killed situation? Are they fighting their mentors?
I would imagine so. I believe that those two were wanting to create a new existence, much like I do.
But the difference was that they don't have the creativity to do it.
There's a lot of things that they lack at this point in their lives. Hope, possibilities, creativity. I feel that the venture would be much more successful with your help. And ultimately, that's all that matters.
Well, I'll help, but I mean, I can only help if they're not in the way, you know? Like, that's... If my friends are dead, I can't help you.
Well, why don't we go and see them? And if needed, I can get rid of the other two.
We could just go see them right now?
Yes? Which one? And he kind of points off to the left a little bit and swings around to the right a little bit.
And I'll just look at him and just say, like, I've seen what Sasha can do. She scares me. I think let's go help Nell.
Right then. And he points towards the right. And as you both step off down the right passageway, we will rejoin Nell. Oh, sorry. We'll rejoin Sasha.
Sorry, Sasha, I love you.
So, Sasha.
Tell me.
You have Baba moving towards you with intent, let's say. Do you want to... I mean, you know, what do you want to do about this situation, let's say?
Well, obviously, I'm still holding my coat out, and I go, Ole. I'm ready.
So you're going to attempt to, like, move out the way and...
Yep.
Okay. Are you using the perfect timing?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. In that case, we don't really need to roll, because you can move out of the way with perfect timing, and Baba essentially goes through many-legged, storms through, and you just move out just in the nick of time. You can feel the like wind rush as she storms through your like little cloak bit. Comes to a halt very quickly and turns around, like pauses for a second and thinks, and she says, "Sometimes I wish I'd have looked into time. It seems like a useful one to have. Fate is fickle but bendable, if you know how to deal with it. However," and she raises her hand. She's like quite far away from you. Raises her hand and holds her palm out towards you. "Even perfect timing can't dodge everything." And from her hand sprouts, slowly at first, like you see like little tiny palms come out of her hand. Like loads of them, and out of her fingers and everything. And then there's like a pause as they kind of like gather, and then an explosion as arms just come out with hands, and at a guess, maybe 100, maybe 200, just come flying out towards you, growing as they go, and like kind of moving through the air to grab you. Baba's kind of gross, I know, it's a thing.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Baba, you've always been one to get a little handsy. Huh. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attempt to I would like to accelerate my casting.
Okay.
I'd like to cast as they're coming at me. I'm not going to move. I'm going to let them come at me. But I'd like to cast Chaos Sphere. I want those hands right in that sphere. This could totally go absolutely great or terribly wrong.
Okay. Just for the record, you're gonna have to make a pretty big chaos sphere because they're coming from different like angles as well, all in front of you, but like.
Yeah.
So.
Which is why I want to accelerate my casting. I want to use my acceleration to aid my casting in Chaos Sphere.
I cast Chaos Sphere.
I cast Chaos Sphere.
Ninth level, please.
9th level, I use 3 voodoo dolls.
And as you kind of expand it, I think also possibly you may be using both hands on this one just because it's the whole deal. The hands go into the chaos sphere and like they twist and they change, and some of them come out, some of them never come out at all. Some go in and come out as like there's like a mushroom pops out, one of those party blowers where you blow and it goes like one of them comes out like that. One of them is like comes out as like a pure white dove that flaps and looks very confused and kind of flies off. Like, I'm not going to explain how 200 hands look as they come out of a chaos sphere. Needless to say, it's an absolute cavalcade of ridiculous shit. There's like a balloon comes out, and a very small
mixed bag of party favors.
A very small and confused iguana. Like, stuff comes out, dude. Like, it's just how the chaos sphere works. However, one comes out of the chaos sphere completely unchanged and flies directly grabbing your throat. And you realize that there is always a possibility in the Chaos Sphere that it gets changed into exactly what it is. Because that's chance.
Yep.
And if you have control over chance, you have control over what will happen. So, unfortunately, and you can dispel the Chaos Sphere before this happened, you get dragged directly towards Baba Yaga. Would you like to dispel the Chaos Sphere? Because otherwise you're getting dragged into it.
Yeah. No, I would dispel the chaos spirit. Like once she grabs my neck, basically,
The
and
hands
chokes
would
me.
come
Then
apart as well.
then
like,
yeah.
The Chaos Sphere itself disappears, leaving a weird cluttering of random crap around you. As you get dragged in by this hand, essentially it retracts back into Baba Yaga's hand, and as it does, it brings you into her hand, and now she is directly grabbing you, kind of like lifted you up a good few feet in the air, legs dangling, and she says, "Now, let's have a look at your fate." And she reaches up and grabs a string.
You're not supposed to touch things that aren't yours, Baba.
And she pulls it down and she looks at it. And she says, "You know, ever since I made a deal with Merlin, I have been upset about how far he would go for just one girl. And I feel I should put a little spanner in the works." And she draws you down, like basically face to face with her. And she says, "Everything that he has done has been to give your little friend a perfect life, to make her as happy as possible. And your fate is," and she like snaps her fingers, and the line of fate that she had in her hand disintegrates. "You'll never find an opportunity to tell her." And she reaches out, sets you down on the ground, and shrinks back into a normal size. Anyway, I should go. A lot to do, and I don't really care about any of this, to be honest. It was nice having a little sparring session with you, Sesha. You will get better, do not worry.
There won't be a next time, Baba. You've
Well-
messed with my fate enough.
Maybe not. You never know. Maybe I included a little meeting for us somewhere down the road.
No. Unlikely. I'm now taking your fate in my hands.
I would like to see that. I'm sure you could come up with some interesting times for me.
You won't have multiple. You won't have any at all. Remember, life has an expiration date.
It does. I'm looking forward to it. And at the very least, I finally got under your skin.
I'm about to get under yours. I would like to accelerate, and I'd like to use severing the strings on her.
Okay. Oh, roll me.
Does she- At this point in time, she obviously still has her magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll me a dexterity. And
Would it be Dex and Time?
Dex and Time.
Or would it be Resolve?
I would say Dex and Time would fit here, but given that it's kind of a surprise attack because she's kind of like, okay, we're done here, goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's sounding more and more like Edna from The Incredibles, but she is. I kind of see her that way as well a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, take an extra dice because she's not really expecting you to.
Okay, so it's gonna be 3, and then you said my time.
Yes. So I
So
believe
7?
that's 7, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do a roll. Okay. So you catch her off guard. She has no idea what you're trying to do because this is something only you can do, and it's something that she has no experience of you doing. And you essentially channel the magic quickly, reach towards her as a wave washes over you, and you feel yourself losing your sense of time, your sense of fate, and the spell itself dissipates just as you put your hand on her shoulder. And we will switch over to Nell.
So I'm being pulled into the sun.
Yes.
I think it's kind of at a very split second that Nell thinks this. There's like a fuck moment going on because it's very fitting that it would have to do with gravity since this is the thing she's been like working the most on, but also
Yeah.
struggling the most on. So being pulled into this literal blazing sun, Nell's gonna try to, instead of always having made a ball of gravity and pushing that somewhere, she's gonna try to make herself. There's a center of gravity in front of her. She wants to try and make herself her own center of gravity and try to push basically against that one that's pulling her in, because two things of the same bounce off of each other. So yes, she does not want to be dragged into the sun.
So, if you want to essentially orbit this sun, you'll have to have the same amount of like kind of gravity and etc. And this is the sun, so it's quite a lot of gravity there. What I would say is what you could do instead is
Co-locate the sun to Merlin's house? What?
you'd have to touch it, and I would not
Yeah, I
advise
know.
that. Excuse me, just gonna touch the sun. All these bitches out here touching grass. Check me out.
Anyway.
If you essentially, instead of trying to slow yourself down or like kind of resist against it, if you propel yourself forward, because obviously you're being dragged towards it, but you're not going directly at it, how gravity works. you can essentially orbit it and do like a slingshot around the sun,
Yeah.
which will like swing you around essentially. All it requires is essentially a burst of force, propelling. So there's a few different ways you can do that. Down to you which one you want to use, really.
Yep. Could I possibly do that? So try to give myself a bit of momentum, give myself a little push by using an opposite side of gravity? Or do you say that it would have to be another force? I could also try to use kinetic force, but just...
Yeah. You can essentially propel yourself with kinetic force, kind of like eject it, push yourself almost like paddling, I guess.
Yeah, I can basically, in the opposite side, punch the air so that I have momentum to propel around it, right?
If, it's kind of difficult to do in normal circumstances. If you wanted, you could essentially do an Iron Man, except for it wouldn't be visible. So you, point down and you just, fire out kinetic force and kind of push yourself forward. Usually that's kind of difficult to do because you don't have much control, but you're in essentially a gravitic pull, so...
Yeah, and, yeah. Nell does have pretty good things with gravity, just not as good as Merlin. Yeah, I guess that would be the first step to try to do that. She's not gonna try to touch the sun.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh no! Can I swap places with Merlin?
Yeah. No,
first.
You can swap if you... It's a good idea.
It's a good idea, but I first want him to think I'm struggling.
Okay.
So I will try to propel myself, and Nell is planning to try to get her magical AoE knife with lots of forces in it. Because clearly punches haven't been doing anything. So we'll get out the big guns, aka the big knives.
I can give this much to you, that he has essentially wreathed himself in a kinetic shield. Essentially, the stronger the kinetic force, the more resistance that is met.
Yep.
Which is why the electricity worked, because the electricity isn't a kinetic force. It got through the shield, but your punch didn't actually hit.
So that's why Nell wants to get her little sword, because that's always filled with some kind of force.
It is filled with some kind of force.
So at least she thinks she'll be able to do something with that. So yes, point in order. First, try to become an orbit around the sun. To try to get the
welcome to Mage, everyone.
Try to get the sword out, and then once he thinks I am struggling to get out of the sun, I think I'll try to swap places, but that's after that.
Okay. I would say it does not. You know what? Let's see what kind of power you can muster in this emergency situation. Gnosis and forces, please. I believe that'd be 6. And I will say right now, before you ask, you are unable to surprise the sun.
Damn it, my surprise die. 2.
I would say that you manage to propel yourself and kind of mostly get away and around, kind of propel yourself past the sun. You feel yourself essentially being slingshot around it and coming back. The problem is once you come back, I assume the intention was kind of to head back towards Merlin kind of way. Problem is you're still within the pull. You aren't able to break free of that pull, so you essentially swing around, all good, get to the other side, and you essentially become stuck. So you're kind of Iron Manning, but you're not moving anymore. You're kind
Yeah.
of going a bit static.
I don't mind, because that was like the whole point of that move, was trying to get some time to like, without him seeing it, get the knife out.
Yeah, as you go around behind, totally doable. I will say also, as you come back around and you're kind of struggling against the pole, he is slowly walking towards you now, and towards the box and the sun. So you will have. I'm assuming you're kind of keeping it to your side. You're like.
Yeah.
out of
Do
sight?
I get the roll to see which force is in it, or?
Yes. Roll me a. D12, please.
All right. 8.
Okay. Have you looked at it yet, or are you waiting for that to be a surprise?
Does it do owie? That's the question.
I mean, are you looking at? Are you looking to see what its currently state is in?
No, I'm suspecting that I would recognize the sensation of some things.
Yes, that's true. You would. It's kind of like blacky purple, like radiance. It's currently it's set on ultraviolet. UV light.
It's so fitting with the sun.
Maybe attuned to the sun. You rolled ultraviolet light. What do you want from me? if you
I'm trying to become the sun myself.
if you need to investigate a crime scene, like, it's great, but I'm not sure you can do much with it at the moment.
Shit. All right.
Maybe give him a sunburn or something, possibly.
I'm pretty sure that if we'll see what it'll do.
Yes, sure. So, as Merlin is walking towards you, he says, "Are you aware, Eleanor, of what happens when a son dies?"
Pop quiz.
More a fun fact. And he opens his hands and he says, "It becomes a black hole." And then he closes his fingers. So everything happens all at once, where you try to swap, he tries to turn that sun into a black hole, and a wave of energy and force, almost like wind, sweeps across both of you, and neither thing happens. Because you lose your sense of force, you lose your sense of space, and everything dissipates into nothing. So, we will rejoin Sesha as she has just essentially put hands upon Baba with the intention to take her out of existence, basically. But nothing happens.
I can't take I can't take my sword out, can I?
You can try, but if you do try, I will say that no, you can't.
Okay. Well,
I feel
this
like
is...
you maybe had a... that didn't really do anything.
Well, no, obviously it didn't, Baba. I was trying to do something and now I can't. Well, do what I originally wanted to do.
Well, if you don't need me anymore, I'm going to go.
I grip tighter onto her shoulder.
Hmm.
You're not going anywhere. You're not excused, and we're not done.
What do you want?
What do I want? You just altered my fate.
Yes. As I have done before. At least you noticed this time.
How many times?
I mean, for a whole load of inconsequential little things, lots of times.
How many times?
A few hundred?
And you didn't care to tell me that you've been secretly altering my fate forcibly against my will because...
It wasn't important.
It wasn't important to you.
Yes.
I'm not one of your dolls, Baba. You can't just change my fate at will.
I can. It is one of the unfairities of life. I am strong and I am powerful. I can do what I want.
Not anymore. I'm going to backhand her.
Yeah. Your smack, she has the reflexes of a reasonably old woman. And a little bit of blood comes out, and she kind of like, and she says, she kind of brings her hand up to her mouth and wipes off. It's not really like a shocked look on her face. Little bit of pain maybe registering in the eyes, but essentially she looks up at you and says, "Are we even though?"
No.
Okay. Well,
Before she says anything, I'm going to take out the knife that I had in my pocket that I used on my voodoo dolls, and I'm going to stab her. Right in her stomach.
mortally or
Mortally.
Oh my god.
as she's kind of rambling to herself a little bit, hand on the shoulder. She kind of like tapers off, and there's like a choking and a little bit of kind of like her head is like down, but after a second, like her hand comes up and like grips your shoulder, and she looks up into your face and into your eyes, and she says, I wonder, little trickle of blood coming down from the side of her mouth. Will you ever know whether I made you do that or not? And like her grip slowly releases, and her eyes like roll back into her head, and she slips down you, essentially like slowly, not really gripping on, but just like, you know, losing strength, sliding down, and she crumples onto the floor at your feet. And there is a contented sigh of a last breath.
I will kneel down and I will hold her. And I will scream. Just scream.
And we fade out on that. And we go to Alfie. As you step out, possibly in retrospect in the wrong place,
Maybe a little.
with Nell and Merlin. You know what? Yeah, we'll keep going with this. With Nell and Merlin essentially squared off against each other, you step out with Kiljara.
Jara. Oh, no! And I just start running over.
To paint a picture, do I roll to see if they run like facing towards me or from my back?
It would be from kind of like, if you're facing forward like this, it would be kind of from like back left.
Yeah, and Merlin is in front of me.
In front of you, yeah.
I think even though suddenly there's a voice of Alfie, at this moment that is lower in the register, and maybe Nell doesn't even fully register it. As she's dropped to the floor from this like gravity pull that was about to become a black hole. And as it settles in that, she doesn't feel any of the magic anymore, but seemingly the sun has also disappeared.
Yeah.
She just looks up at Merlin and starts rushing towards him, and like the blade just clatters to the ground like halfway through, and she just rushes up towards him and pulls him by the shirt.
And he doesn't resist.
Yeah. And there's fury there. But she doesn't immediately punish him.
So Alfie comes in as an aside.
Mm-hmm.
Because she sees how close they are and she's fucking worried.
Yeah.
I'm worried. And so I run up, and like even while Nell is holding on to him, Alfie just fucking runs in and Superman punches Merlin in the jaw.
Okay.
Like essentially trying to like backyard school fight kind of style, you know, like seeing
Hadouken.
yeah, pretty much just like boom, like from downtown kind of thing.
So essentially, if you keep a grip on him, like his head will roll and you'll probably get dragged a little bit. But you can probably pretty much keep him upright. Again, he doesn't resist the punch. And when he comes back, he's got like a reddened welt on his cheek, and probably a little bit of blood from cut.
As Alfie does that, probably at that point register that she's there. But as Alfie punches her, she just drops him to the ground.
Yeah.
After the punch, and just like keeps standing there.
Are you good? Are you okay? Did he hurt you? And I'm like looking at Nell, and I'm trying to like look her over to make sure that she's not like harmed or
She's very
bleeding.
harmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has
Oh
like
my-
electricity burn marks and
Yeah.
stuff as well.
Oh, no.
Burn marks, bruises, dirt. Like it's a mess.
But
my
you can
gosh.
see some of them on Merlin as well.
You can see a few injuries on Merlin as well.
Okay, I'm like in full like take care mode. And I'm just gonna look at Merlin and be like, "Are you happy now? Did you get everything that you wanted? You're done harassing this. She liked you." And I turn back to Nell, and I'm like checking her over and be like trying to wrap some of her burns and stuff. Like,
I think once you start doing that, Nell wasn't paying too much attention to it. But the moment you start like actively doing that, she'll like just look to the side and put like a hand on like your shoulder to like just ease you off. Like in a very gentle way. Just ease you off of like it's fine. Like it's very much I appreciate it, but
you got something to deal with, and I'll be like, oh, and I'll just kind of step back for a minute.
and Nell does look as you step back, she does look to the side to you and just like thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. I just kind of sit back and scowl at Merlin.
Merlin picks himself up, dusts himself off.
I'm sorry. I don't want to let him get up though. I'm kind of
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna let him I'm gonna kick his knee out before he even, tries to get up.
Let's say that we had the same idea, but because Nell is a bit more dexterous,
Sure.
the moment
yeah.
I imagine Alfie like approaches to do that, but the moment you come close, you see that Nell just like pushes with just one hand, just pushes him down again, like onto his buttocks.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess I am waiting here.
That's it. That's it. You're waiting.
So he sits, crosses his legs. Kiljara, after a little bit, walks over. Are we done here?
I would just hold off for a quick second, just hold that thought real quick.
And Merlin looks up at Kiljara and says, I take it you've found the last ingredient you need? And Kiljara looks down and says, yes, you are no longer needed. Shall we go? We need to find your friend.
Are you good here? Can I go get Sesha
I'm good.
and make sure she's not dead? Okay. Just, you know what?
Before you go, no, you can't do that shit. Yeah, no. Nell does say before you go, and then just like later.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see you soon. Just don't let him pull any fast ones on you. Not that he will be able to right this second, but yeah. Anyway, okay. And I just start running the other direction. Wait. Kiljar, can you like make it permanent? And I point over at Merlin.
I can. Do you wish
And
me
I just, I look at Nell. So the whole reason we can't do powers right now is because Kiljara kind of LeBron, but could take it away from him permanently. If you want.
Go check up on Sasha.
Okay.
She probably needs it.
And I'll walk off then. I'll be like, I guess we'll hold off on it for now. Kiljara.
Kiljara holds for a moment and looks at you, Nell, and says, whether you kill him or not, once you're done, take that passage. You'll find the gem there. If we're not there already, wait for us. And then moves and follows with Alfie, leaving Nell and a sitting cross-legged Merlin.
Nell will, after a moment, crouch down where she was standing to be like on eye level.
He meets your eyes.
So that's it. The moment you don't have any power anymore, you stop fighting.
I was never fighting. Eleanor, if I was fighting, you'd be dead. It's a very simple task for me. One of the products of having too much power.
So you just use it to torture, make me feel bad then and not fight.
I was hoping I'd push you far enough to kill me. Apparently that didn't work.
So you yet again wanted to use me to get something you wanted.
Yes. Every time, I will use you to get what I want. Because what I want is that important.
Only thing that matters is what's important to you, right?
Yes.
I despise people like you. Truly.
I can live with that.
Yeah, you can live with that. Because you're not gonna die, or Because guess what? Because you said you wanted me to do it, I will not do it. Right?
If you're going to be childish about this.
Childish. I think if there's one person in here that's allowed to be childish, is the one who had a fucked up childhood, don't you think? I think I don't need to act like an adult at this point. Because look at what adults are, right? Would it be so much better to act like you at this moment? Fine, here you go. Kill me then, huh? Oh no, wait. You're powerless. You depend so much on your little magic that you can't hold a foot without it. We both know I could punch you into oblivion right now, just using my fists.
We do.
Can't you say something to make it so that you don't haunt me after this?
I don't know.
Stop calling me that.
No. Your purpose now is to go and create an entire new reality with your friends. I fail to see how a word from me can really affect you all that much at this point.
Because it's a word from you that has kept me in this loop for so long. And it's because of words of you that I can't let it go. I keep getting stuck in it and using violence to solve things. And trying to desperately find what I thought I had found in you. But I keep holding on. Because I know you're still out there. Somewhere. And it's not there.
You're not wrong, but as I said, you're about to go and create a whole new existence. Why don't you make somewhere for yourself to live in? And then you'll be free of everything. And you can leave all of this behind.
I don't want to leave all of this behind. I want to leave you behind.
That's very easy to do.
I would have hoped. You know, I'm not a fate mage or whatnot, but I truly did think you were different. Truly thought that you cared. And I thought that somehow through you I could heal. And I could forget.
That will come with time. Well, if you're not going to kill me, I might go for a walk. If you really want to keep me sitting here for all eternity, I guess we can do that too. but I feel like you have more important things to do at this point. So, and he groans a little bit, legs crack as he pushes himself up. And he turns and looks at you for a second and says, "Goodbye, Eleanor. I'm very curious to see what type of existence you create. I think it would be wonderful." And then he turns and starts to walk away.
I'll drop you off at home. Oh, no, wait.
Yeah, as he's walking away, he holds his finger up and says, "Not currently."
See you.
And unless you want to do or say anything else, we'll fade out from there. Sesha, have you done anything since you stabbed Baba? I'm just wondering what kind of scene Alfie's wandering into.
I am still holding Baba with my bloody knife and blood on my hands, and I am just staring quietly out into nothing.
So, for a moment, Kilimanjaro, as he comes upon the scene with you, Alfie, will kind of step back and let you handle this. It's not really his forte. Also, it lets me go to pee quickly. So, Alfie, carry on.
Ah, Sasha! And I'm like gonna run up. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. And I kind of drop to my knees beside you. Kind of on the opposite side of Baba. Holy shit. Are you good? And I'm also looking you over to see if you have any like injuries or anything else.
Last thing she said to me was if I would ever know if she made me do it. Or if it was my choice.
What do you want it to be?
Look Nell straight in the eyes. Something seems extremely off with her. There's not that like burning, intense stare. It's just almost like lost. I don't know what I want. Because I don't know if it's really me that wants it or if it was her. She was manipulating my fate this whole time. Many times. Almost all the time. And I thought it was me toying with fate and pulling the strings. I thought I was in control of my own fate. And everything I did, I thought I wanted. But in reality, Alfie, I was the biggest puppet of them all. Isn't that funny?
No, it's not. That's really shitty. Nobody should have to just do whatever somebody else wants. And
I thought it was me.
I'm just gonna reach over, and are you still holding the knife? I put my hand over her hand on the knife. And I just look at her and I say, then it won't happen anymore, right? You are still you. There's only so much that somebody can change. Can't rewrite your whole personality.
I'm still me. But my destiny and fate was not my own. And it's still not. Before I killed her, she severed one of my strings. And I don't know. I don't know what it was. And I'll never be able to have that path, or that choice, or that outcome, because it's gone. And this whole time, I've been trying to figure out a way to prevent people being played as puppets, and I was just playing my part.
Did she say anything when you severed, or when she severed that string?
I will say here that you remember what she said. You can't say it. But you can say yes or no.
A part of me wants to say no, because I would feel like I'm in control. But I do know what it was.
Do you know what it means?
Yes.
And I try to almost like with my hand over hers, try to pry her hand off of the knife. Does it come off?
Yeah.
And I'll go around to the other side of the body, and I'll still holding, her hand, I'll just wrap my other arm around her.
You hear footsteps behind you, and then you hear Kuljara say, "We should go. We have things to do."
And I look at him and nod and just look at her and be like, we should go. Merlin is still alive, and I'm so sorry, Sesha. Can we continue to process this after? I think maybe Beta would be happy to talk with us after everything's said and done.
I don't know what I want to do.
And we'll figure it out together.
We are almost finished here. One more step.
Be patient. A woman died.
She wasn't really a woman.
No. From everything you told me, she's kind of a monster. Although she looks very... just like an old woman looking at her on the ground now. And I get to my feet and hold my hand out to try to bring Sesha up.
Sasha will take her hand.
You stand up. Oh, apologies. Yeah, it's just sitting there narrating what you do. You stand up and you start to move, and you head off to the center, to where the Kira gem is. Nell, can I take it that you have headed there yourself?
Yeah, after a good few solid minutes of crying as well in the other room, she will go there.
Okay. So, you all find yourselves in front of the gem that you saw before. At this point as well, magic is sifted back, essentially, with no need to have an anti-magic aura, let's call it. So you can sense things. I'll say, Sesha, you see the sword, the bone white one, in the room, in the open area. And Kuljara says, once you're all back together, and I'm going to assume everyone's a little bit quiet, unless you'd like a word or two with each other. I make the assumption just kind of no one wants to talk about things for right now.
I mostly, I'll look over at Nell and just be like, wait, where's Merlin? Where did he go?
I decided to show him the mercy that his kind of people wouldn't give me. Kiljara, can you take away his powers permanently?
He'll die.
But will he still live out his normal human lives before he dies?
No, the way to take away his powers is to kill him. Or for me to follow him for eternity, and I'm no longer going to exist very soon.
I want him to continue walking around, knowing that I gave him a kindness I never got. And that I'm still walking around and I will someday beat him. Do anything he wants. Do everything he wants. And I'll make sure he never gets it. So I'll let him walk around.
As a sidebar, Sesha, you doing alright with the knowledge, essentially? I mean, I know you can't say anything, I just wanted to check in with Sesha and see how she's doing with
She will go pick up the other sword.
Okay.
And remain extremely quiet.
It's sheathed.
Like,
It's-
unsettlingly, unsettling.
Unsettlingly.
Unsettling. I can't say it.
Unsettlingly. There you go.
I can't say it. I'm not even gonna try to say it because I can't say it.
I'll say it for you.
So everyone said it for me.
Unsettlingly.
Unsettlingly.
Unsettlingly. No.
Ugh.
Shit.
We're all having problems here.
Unsettlingly?
Unsettlingly.
Unsettlingly.
The SETI program, yeah.
Unsettlingly.
Yeah.
So
Ah, la 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 la.
La 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 la.
Kiljara looks at all three of you and says,
Are you ready?
As ready as we'll ever be. Oh, yeah, we're gonna create a new world. So, just, use your imagination. Happy thoughts. Things that you would
Why
really
is
want.
that still going through?
Because or else I would be dead, but also, because I mean, it would only be for us.
What do you mean it would only be for us?
Well, figured we'd make this new world, and then I don't know about you guys, but I don't really have much left here in this world other than, Morgan, who, I mean, Morgan could honestly go wherever she wants, right? So we're making this new world, and then we'll see where we go from there, right?
If nothing else interests you, it would at least free the essence of your friend from the gem and cause no more disruption or problems in this realm and others.
And it wouldn't be accessible to people like Merlin either.
It would also sever the power of the council.
Wait, so Morgan wouldn't have any power left either?
They would have power, but no more than they should.
Oh. That's honestly probably a good thing.
Well, if you need time, that is fine. But when you are ready, place your hands on the gem, channel your magic in, and concentrate.
And I look at the other two.
In a way, we're going to save Kira, right? Not the way we had hoped to.
It was explained to me. It kind of seems like the minute she was made into a gem and became this battery, I mean, that was it. She was changed beyond being able to reverse it.
Funny thing is I don't even know if that was my choice.
Well, I can't take back any of the things that Baba changed for you, but now you get to decide. And now you get to make a choice. And Baba can't interfere with that.
She already has.
But not anymore. Nothing that she does from this point forward can change who you are. And if I'm being honest, it was pretty cruel of her to say something like that to you.
She's a very cruel woman. And at times it is admirable.
Well, you don't deserve that. And
The problem with fate, Alfie, is we're given multiple strengths. Mine were tampered with multiple times. Long time ago. And even recently. I don't know how far she's altered my fate. I could make a cup of tea right now and wonder if I really wanted to do that or if she made it so. Even though she's dead. That old hag.
I look at Kil'jaara. I don't suppose there's a way to reweave her strings back to the way they were before she even met Baba. Is there?
No.
The moment that conversation starts happening, Nell just takes 2 big steps towards Sesha, just like hugs her. And you can hear, you don't see it, but you can hear Nell beginning to cry.
Oh.
Sasha will lightly hug Nell back.
He
It's
just puts her head
alright.
down.
You both feel a very slight pressure, like someone's wrapped their arms around you. Very slightly warm. And it has a very minor soothing effect. You know, it's not like super intrusive or anything. It essentially feels like someone walked up behind you and put their arms around you.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
She'll let go. Strong as ever.
By the way, Alfie was not hugging with you guys.
Yeah.
Just as an aside.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened.
Oh. Are you ready?
Our magic is back, right? At this point, Nell realizes that their magic is back, and so she puts her hand in her pocket and in her singed and wounded hands lay Beta and Sesha's pet. What was his name again? Archimedes. And it like those two things. And she holds it out.
As you
Promise
do,
I'd keep this safe.
Killjoy says, you may want to keep them tucked away for now until we've done what we need to do.
Well, they can just keep them on themselves, right?
Possibly. I don't know how it would affect them.
I'll keep him then. Or do you?
There's a very slight of like complaint as Bird is shoved back in alternate dimension.
Well, it's not
mostly
it's not a
fine.
bird, right? It's like
It's a bird spirit.
It's basically a bird.
yeah. So then she just goes like, I'll just puts them back.
Okay. When you're ready, you know, there's no rush, but when you're ready. And again, you don't have to, go along with this. Anyone who wants to get involved can. Anyone who wants to go on a wander.
Nell heard Alfie say multiple things. Very important things. But one of the most important being, if this wasn't happening, Alfie would die.
Yeah.
So, no, I think this is the point where Nell just says, put Kira to rest and kick some council ass. What's there not to like?
And I put my hand on the gem.
Start to channel your magic.
Yeah.
I take a small look at Sasha with like an encouraging but sympathetic smile. Not in the sense of I pity you, but in the sense of like, I'm trying to understand. And yeah. And then she before she starts walking, she says, your next move is going to be entirely your own. Take pride in that. And she starts walking.
Hand on gem.
Mhm.
Start channel. Sasha? You gonna do the same?
She will walk up to the gem. And before placing her hand on it, she'll look up at both of them and say, the current world we came from, I've only ever seen it one way. And I don't know if that was Baba or if that was me. And I know that this will be my first decision. And so I will help you. But I won't stay.
Okay. Gem, hand, channel.
Alfie will look disappointed, but just kind of look down and not say anything. Kind of understanding.
As you're all there channeling your magic, Kildjara walks up to it, pauses for a second, says, goodbye, and puts his hand on the gem. The next sensation you're aware of, all three of you, is almost like being in water. Feel almost like suspended, although everything is darkness, everything is black. You can't really see anything or sense much of anything until you feel a vague warmth and see a slight purple light. Very faint, very vague, and you feel... The best way I can describe it is, without knowing exactly how you know it, you feel the warmth and the presence, if not the actual physical being, as it were, of Kira. And along with it comes a possibility of creation. The impulse to become. And so, I am going to ask you a couple of things, as I need your direction here, and so does Kira. So, I would like to ask you what you're currently feeling, the memory that is most forefront in your mind, and a little extra vibe, essentially. Something that is a decent vibe for your character. To use an example, for myself, I very much enjoy rain in a swimming pool. So, let's go around Nell, Alfie to Sesha, and we'll start off with a memory.
The memory most prevalent in Nell's mind right now is the morning after she got taken into Merlin's house and her waking up here and walking down and entering the study for the first time, seeing him sitting there with all of his research spread around him with his stupid little mug, drinking tea and looking up at her with this disarming and warm smile, and saying that they have a lot of work to get to, and yeah, her feeling this warmth that she hasn't felt before in this memory.
Alfie?
Alfie's memory is when she met Beta. Toying around with spirits and feeling kind of lackluster after a really kind of rough day at school. And frustratingly pulling out this spirit to, honestly, she wasn't sure why, but possibly try to talk to, which always in retrospect, like, Alfie looks back and is like, what a stupid reason, like talking to spirits like that. But then finding a companion and someone who was actually interested in speaking and didn't seem to brush her off as just someone who summoned her, and instead was happy and thankful and soon a very close friend.
And Sesha.
She is sitting in front of a fireplace, and it's extremely cramped and small and cluttered. And she has tea and saucer in her hand. And There's like slight, almost like shifting back and forth as if moving. And in the background, it's kind of hard to make out. It sounds muffled as if you were covering your ears, but you can tell it's Baba just ranting and raving about something completely off topic. And it was around the first time that she actually met her. There's a slight unease. But at the same time, it's warm. And that's all she remembers.
Okay. Nell. Need a feeling from you. Can be prevalent, can be core to Nell. Doesn't have to be anger. Oh, you're muted.
If anger is out of the way.
It doesn't have to be.
I think to describe the most prevalent feeling in Nell is the very strong urge to protect.
Alfie.
An insatiable curiosity.
And Sesha.
Like her feeling right now.
Doesn't have to be feeling right
Or
now. It could be a core feeling that it kind of makes up Sesha.
Is empty a feeling?
Despair?
Melancholy.
Melancholy. I like it. And finally, Nell. A little bit of flavor for me, please.
I think the sensation that Nell would treasure a lot is the feeling of stinging pain in your hand and righteousness in your heart the first time she found out her powers and kicked some ass of a guy who was up to no good. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one. Alfie.
The incredible joy that you get when you create something and it works and it's good. And it's a confirmation of your abilities and a testament to your knowledge and a milestone, I guess, that you can look back on after you've learned more.
And Sesha.
bittersweet. Bittersweet feeling of
Like the absolute exhaustion after losing a match of some kind of sport, that type of like.
the feeling of everything you thought you knew was a lie. No.
That's a nice one to make our new reality
Yeah,
with.
right?
I'll just write cake, shall I?
The bittersweet feeling of a long struggle, finally like all the effort and work into putting it into something and then being done, and then I guess like the after effect of, or the aftermath of it, like completing something like a project or something and putting a bunch of work into it and effort, and then
It's over.
blood, sweat, and tears, and then now that it's done, it's like, yeah, but at the same time it's like,
Kind of like
Now
Now what?
yeah, now what?
Okay. So. You all feel energy being taken, being diffused. You feel the rush of potential becoming a reality. That's the only way to describe it. And you feel the last thing that you feel is a vague, bubbly, happy, shy, but kind of irrepressible appreciation. No words, but for the sake of argument, you pretty much all hear Kira whisper thank you in your brains. And Alfie, you open your eyes as someone is calling your name. Alfie, come on. How long are you gonna sleep? We gotta get up. We gotta get going.
What?
I mean, we're gonna miss the bus.
The bus.
Yeah, we got school. Come on.
Oh fuck. Oh my god, I don't think I did my homework. Oh god, and I'm like searching, I'm like scrambling and trying to pick up. I don't even know where I am. I'm just like shoveling stuff into, if there's a bag somewhere. Oh my god. What time is it?
It's like 6:45.
Oh my god, it's too early. Oh, it's too fucking early. Oh my god. Okay, sweater, something.
If I have to, I will come in, but just get up.
I'll be right there. Just don't tell him not to leave. I'm coming. And where am I?
You're in a room. It looks like a kind of like dorm room type of thing a student would live in.
Yeah. Okay. Closet. And I just go over to where I think the closet is, and I open it up. It's just probably sweaters.
Yeah, essentially like fairly casual clothing. Not particularly amazingly trendy, but not crappy either.
Okay. I just pull one of them on, pull some pants on, just grab the bag, and my necklace and put it on, and just go out the door, still putting like stuff in the bag and running out.
As you like go outside the door, you are faced with slightly younger looking than last time you saw him, but essentially very much looking like the man Beta was when you saw him in the Vale. Obviously there he was kind of grayed and you know, etc. And he looks at you and like, you ready now?
Can we go?
Beta?
Yeah, what?
Oh. Oh my god.
Alfie, you alright?
Yeah? Holy shit. We're gonna and I'm like trying not to tear up, but I'm like running with him. Be like just kind of looking at him like, oh, you exist. And oh,
you do
shit.
exist.
Oh
And
god.
You run and you get to the bus, and he grabs your hand and pulls you onto the bus as like the doors are just starting to close. And you move past, and there's a couple of girls who are sitting like further towards the back row, and they like catch your eye, and you get like a momentary flutter of like, oh god, are they gonna bully me? Are they gonna be mean?
Yeah.
And one of them looks at you and says, Alfie, come on. And you walk down with Beta towards the back of the bus. You sit down with those couple of girls, and there is a moment where you realize that what you have created is exceedingly beautiful. And we fade out as the bus drives away to school. Here, Sesha. You open your eyes as you feel wood on your shoulder blades, on your back, and you hear this kind of like you look to your side and you realize that your bird is scratching the floorboards right by your shoulder and like kind of pecking. When you open your eyes and look at it, it kind of stops, looks at you, and says, Sasha!
Archimedes?
Sasha!
Archimedes.
You smell toast and some type of warm tea, maybe. It smells like possibly there's some breakfast on the horizon. As you kind of get up and find your bearings, the window next to you, you can see outside there are trees. It is a gloriously warm sunny day. You hear the trickle of a nearby river, and as you stand there taking it all in, you lurch slightly as the house moves. And we'll fade out there. No. You open your eyes and you are met with not a ceiling, but a bed above you. As you realize, to the left, to the right, you appear to be in some type of like bunk bed, the bottom bunk of a bunk bed.
and you are more rudely awakened as you hear someone say, all right, come on, everyone get up. And there's kind of like a clanging and all the lights turn on and there's like a movement of people kind of shuffling, getting out of bed, all that type of thing.
Very confused, and dazed. Nell will just like sit upright and look around her.
There appears to be men and women kind of getting out of bunks and quickly throwing on these like official-y looking clothing, you know, like trousers and jackets and etc., and buttoning them up and kind of like starting to line up at the end of their bunks.
Feeling very confused, she will get up and walk to the closest person and just ask, what's going on here?
And the girl looks at you. She's a bit shorter than you. And she's like, have you not woken up yet? You should get ready, otherwise you'll get in trouble. Come on, just stand up straight. And she like kind of like straightens your back a little bit and lifts your chin up.
I don't... Why do I need to get ready?
And as you're talking, the doors at the end of this kind of like dormitory like move open, and a big kind of like fairly strapping man walks in and says, all right, is everyone ready for another day? Remember, protect and serve. And you realize that everyone around you has like little badges. They're recruits, but they're learning to, become police officers. And as we fade out, all three of you have a moment where you completely remember everything that's happened. It takes a little bit of time for your brain to catch up, essentially, but you remember everything that's happened. You remember all the details, and you remember each other. Now, I'm not going to say whether you decide to immediately go and meet with each other or anything like that, but the possibility is there.
I think that's the immediate first thing that Nell does is like, okay, wait, fine, I get it, I get ready, like stop shouting at me.
Yeah.
And then just like run outside and like hide behind a corner and see if like her magic is still there and all of that stuff.
Your magic's still there.
Yeah. Kind of surprised by all of this, then she'll focus in and try to locate Alfie's necklace.
You can locate it.
And Sesha's, I can't remember what Archimedes was in, but
Archimedes was kind of his own thing, but Voodoo Doll would be doable.
Yeah. Try to locate that.
Okay. So, from here, I will say, who are you going to first? Because I'm guessing
Sesha.
Session. Okay.
Because she has this feeling that Alfie's gonna be alright right now.
And
And
Sasha-
she'll meet her later.
Okay. In that case, as we fade out,
Sasha didn't want to go though.
yeah, in that case, as we fade out, Nell opens up a portal to the sound of a stream and steps through. And we will end things there.
Damn.
So,
God freaking damn.
You little shit, ending it there.
we've gone like 23 minutes over the...
You little shit, ending it there though.
I mean, we could go on for another 10 hours of,
10
talking.
episodes.
Yeah. So,
God damn!
I'm going to start off by saying thank you, all three of you, for a great campaign. And of course, Kira/Tesachka, who, we got to see it. I don't know if you guys noticed, I was playing her theme song when you were doing the memories and creating and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to touch on anything, talk about anything, open floor,
Yes, I would
Finale.
like to mention that someone in chat is saying that you started half an hour late, so you're actually ending early.
Oh, we
Yeah.
want to talk about me starting half an hour late?
No, we want to talk about you ending early.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you all enjoyed that.
Yes.
I'm so curious.
I mean, I
'Cause, like,
can answer questions now.
I'm very I don't know. Like, Alfie's made sense in my head. I don't know much about like Nell's or Sesha's other than I want to know, is Sesha now Baba Yaga kind of thing?
No.
Oh fuck.
Sesha,
Oh, that would have been cool.
Sesha is in a place she can heal and kind of sit with her thoughts that she needs to sit with. Essentially somewhere that's comfortable, somewhere that feels like home, out a little bit isolated.
Okay.
Nell essentially and this is the thing, is you guys the characters aren't nailed down to doing what they're essentially dropped into. It's just your thoughts that guide where you start off. So if Nell wants, she has a job protecting people now. I was so close between like EMS, emergency service, ambulance driver or police officer.
I think it very much
recruit.
fits the character that she would be a cop and that
Totally.
she would try.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
That's
Totally.
I was almost thinking is she in the academy with her dad kind of thing?
I didn't want to go too far with any you may have noticed Sesha could smell tea and something cooking. There's a possibility someone's there.
I almost also had the thought of this magically built a group of enforcers to make sure that no one ever reaches the levels of the council again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Although this is a new reality. There is no council here.
Yeah, to prevent the council from ever happening.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have any thoughts, any questions, anything,
Does Alfie go to magic school now?
Alfie goes to kind of a regular kind of either high school or college, whichever one fits really. But
Is Alfie a wizard now?
You're a wizard, Alfie.
Yo,
I'm a what?
the first thing I said, I imagined this like the ending a bit differently, and I quickly sent Sheepy a message because I didn't know how this was going to go. Because I said, basically, Sasha had said, "Oh, I'm not planning to stay."
yeah,
And in my head, if we had all three arrived and like been in this new reality, and Sasha would have been like, "Cool, I'ma leave now. Have fun. I'm going back to the other reality." I had totally planned on Nell going with Sasha and being like, "Hey Alfie, you can take care of yourself now."
yeah.
I believe in that. And then being like, I think Sasha needs someone to stick around and remind her that emotions aren't all that bad.
I essentially Sesha got what I felt was the most tempting like seduction from the new reality. Somewhere, you know, homey and familiar, but away from everyone and all of the bullshit for a while. Well, of course, the bullshit's turning up because Nell's about to pop in and be like, "Yo, what's
Hey, in the
Yo,
police
what?
outfit, like, yo, what's up?
Yo, what?
I'm a
I saw
cop.
breakfast. Are you making breakfast right now? Hold up. Is that
So-
bacon?
Let me get some of that.
So it wasn't explicitly stated, but did we all understand what Merlin did? I feel like Sasha / Cat did, but
Yeah. He was doing everything for Nell.
Yeah.
Like everything. Even though Baba said, you know, like, and everybody else said he, you know, and even he said he was doing it for something else. The reality is that he had another like ulterior motive within the several other ulterior motives that like was like shared or exposed.
Yeah.
And then Baba knew about it too, and like Baba just kind of like went with it, and then just the whole like, you know, you'll never be able to tell her like kind of thing.
yeah, that was a
So yeah.
that was a little Barber twist in the plan.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, no, essentially after he met Nell and started looking after her, he went to Baba and he was like, "Yo, I care about this kid. I want to give her happiness. I want her to be happy. Like, how can I do that? Find me a path." And she found him a path. It'll take time.
Very convoluted, messed
He
up
just
one,
could have been
but-
fucking nice.
Yeah. Well, no.
Well, though.
Like with
Also, what did wait? Hold on, I see. So, what did Sasha see in the spotlight cave?
Yeah.
I'm not saying. You'll never know. No, I'm not saying. You'll never know.
yeah,
That's
fair.
That's what I really like about Sasha is like there's a lot of things you still don't really know and you think you have it figured out, but
Can I just say as well, Kat, amazing fucking scene after, like, I missed a little bit of it at the beginning, but I came back to fucking glorious perfection of roleplay. Very well
thank
done.
you. I really enjoyed Sasha. I really, really enjoyed it. The whole twist with the whole like fate thing was very, very good for her. I thought it was very fitting.
I started crying. Like your
I
whole scene,
saw-
you were crying, and I just started bawling as well. I was like,
I looked up and I saw Cyrix crying, and I was like, damn, I'm trying to hold it together, bros. But what I'll say for the Baba twist is I felt it was important for Sasha to realize like even though Baba's kind of a dick, people leave a impact on each other. And it's something that Sasha hasn't really noticed much, I feel.
No,
And
not at all.
then at the end there, where Baba's like, "Now you'll always wonder whether I made you do that or not."
That was such a good line.
Bro, I gasped.
Because that
I
was
fully-
such a good
I
line.
saw you. Like,
Because
I
it was
actually,
like, yeah. Because it
That
was
fucked me up.
because it is like, you know, like she comes barreling people's lives, you know, like a bull in a china shop, you know, disregarding the impression she has on people, and like, you know, she's trying to learn, you know, friendships and stuff, and then like, you know, she thinks she's in control.
Yeah.
And that, you know, like she's cool, calm, and collected, and then to find out,
She
you
is
know, the
not.
possibility that like she wasn't in full control like she thought she was,
Yeah.
completely shattered her existence. And then now she's like questioning, well, did I really want to do that, or did she make me do that? And yeah, it's like forever gonna stick with her.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it was very, very fitting for her. I really do like that. It was very good.
Yeah. It's one of those things where we just created a reality. Like,
Yeah.
there was no way to end that on kind of like a, and here's where we end. You know,
Nope.
I much prefer. Sorry, I much prefer setting up everyone to have a version of what they want and how they could be happy. And essentially, I really liked as well having Nell step off to go and see Sesha, but, you know, not getting that scene because it's like,
I like leaving it kind of open-ended.
yeah, it allows.
Like same thing with like, you know, the spotlight and what Sesha saw. So I like leaving that like mystery and open-endedness because I don't like everything. Sometimes it's nice for a character's story, in at least for me,
Yeah.
in like a show, to be open-ended, not have all the questions answered.
Yeah.
You know, still kind of wonder about it.
We have a trajectory we can see.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I like.
Mhm.
And I feel like we covered everything for the characters we needed to close things off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should
And then
apologize.
having a little bit of open-endedness is still fun. for, like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and a little bit of a twist of the dagger where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Nell, Merlin did care about you and basically did all of this for you to be happy, and you will never know.
Also, the moment that you started with Alfie on the bus and just like the sentence, you realize you created something beautiful. I saw Vandy just lose it, and I was like, oh,
She started to lose it the second Beta was a person again.
dude. Cause like I figured, I was like, maybe this is Beta, but then like when it's like and you see Beta, I'm just like, Beta? Like, oh, I'm like, it's my best friend. And he's like a thing. He's like an actual person now and not thrown into a volcano.
It felt way too appropriate, and because
Yeah.
Beta
He's a
was there,
thing.
it was-
Yeah, he's like he's real. As real as, you know, any of us are. Yeah.
Obviously, for intents and purposes, I guess you could consider Kira to be dead, but at the same time, she's
she's an entire universe now.
Yeah.
She's kind of an entire realm of existence. Her energy is diffused all over the place. So
She is the
with
spirit
Killjar.
energy.
And I was gonna say, instead of Mother Earth, it's Mother Tess.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mother Kira instead of Mother Gaia.
Yeah.
but yeah, great
Nice.
episode, lots of fun.
This is a great series. This is a great campaign.
Yeah.
Like, this is a lot of fun.
Very
Like
much.
honestly, I don't really know exactly what I was expecting, but it exceeded my expectations, I think.
That was
because
not my fault.
I had it definitely exceeded my expectations, you know. Sheepy, I love the way that you weaved like the music and you set the tones and the moods and even like the whole, you know, like fight scenes and stuff, like the way you described them. And, you know, I was fully confident in trusting my character to you and like what, you know, you would have happen, because no matter what it was, I knew I would still be happy and enjoy like what transpired, even if it was bad for my character. So
Well,
I really did enjoy it.
one thing I will say, and it's a minor drawback of the way I do things, is there are certain songs, for example, this one, that you can never hear again the same way.
The moment you put on I don't know when it was during the episode, but
Oh,
at some
that
point
was-
you started putting on the sad music. I was like,
Oh, sad music!
I believe I put it on for the final confrontation between Sesha and
Yeah.
Baba, and then when Baba got stabbed. And then
Baba got stabba.
we went through over into Nell Merlin, and I was like, I don't need to change the song. Like this is gonna carry on fitting. I know that. So, but yeah.
Did you think I was gonna kill her?
no.
I didn't, but I had considered the possibility, which is why I was able to shift into now you'll never know if I made you do this or not. 'Cause
I had.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I it's the same all the way through. Like, I do enjoy, like, obviously there's always got to be some form of rails, some form of like bumpers to, keep things moving. I do like a very wide net. Like, when you guys were discussing what to do next, I was totally ready for you to go at the council. Like, we would have had none of this. This would have all played out in its own little pocket somewhere else.
I totally am surprised, even myself as a player of one of these characters, that we ended up with Sesha fucking murdering Baba and Nell letting Merlin walk away. And
Because
also,
it was like the opposites.
the
If you
whole
think about
scene-
it.
the whole scene was also
Yeah.
thanks to Alfie's intervention as well a bit. And I'm just so confused and surprised about how things there winded up.
Well, yeah, because you think about it going in, and it's like, Nell's like, I'm going to like murder Merlin, or like, I'm going to make him suffer and stuff like that. And it's like, Sasha's just kind of like, oh, cat and mouse with Baba, haha, spit, tit for tat, blah, 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 eye for eye, haha, haha. Kind of like, like just tossing venom back and forth. And that was it.
Yeah.
But then, like, the act of actually, like, killing her, I felt was really fitting for her, but also really, like...
I mean, she pushed you into that shit. Like...
All right, I'm done with you. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, and the thing is like, with Merlin, he was infuriating to Nell because it seemed very much like he didn't care and etc. But there was never that, like, vicious not caring. It was, like, I don't know how well it came across, but I was essentially trying to play it like I do care, but I have something more important to me than everything else. I am going to achieve my goal regardless of anything. So it just turned out that the goal was to make Nell, put on the path to happiness. Which,
And now I'll never know, and I will always stay with the stupid ending quip of being like, I'll make sure he never gets what he wants.
Yeah. And I'm like, I was trying so hard to keep a straight face there because I was like, never gonna let that happen. Oof. Either way, you lose or win.
Psych.
You win and lose and
Yeah.
both at the same time.
Welcome to a sheepy show. It's I like the twists, I like the turns, I like the unexpected.
Emotional damage.
I like
Emotional damage.
I like my players going in like, oh, I'm gonna murder the fuck out of that old man, and like, oh, I love Baba. She's so quirky and weird and nice, and it's like completely switched to like, I'm gonna let him live. To die, bitch.
I do love the monster Baba though. Like
Yeah.
that imagery
That was
to me is
unsettling.
like I love.
Unsettling.
I hate that I love it. Like it's just like so many monster arms and like yeah, killing it.
Without
Without the cessation of magic, she's basically impossible to kill. With the amount of life magic she has, and she didn't even. I mean, you may have noticed she didn't even use fate, just life magic.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking crazy.
You're lucky you weren't in a forest or something. You'd have had essentially a scene from Lord of the Rings with the fucking trees coming alive and attacking you.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, but if you have any like thoughts, if you want to share anything with the people watching about your characters or little bits and pieces, feel free. I think we're about ready for an outro, but there's no rush. I'm chill. It is the finale, last episode, season 2. When
Seriously. Thank you, Sheepy, for creating such a cool world for us to use.
She could have made a forest. See, that's the
She
thing
could
though about
have
was
made a forest.
She
the
could
thing
have.
that was originally though, like the whole area was like devoid of like life though because of Kiljara.
Yes.
So it's like without that though, then yeah, she could totally make one.
It would, like, life mages can just create that shit out of essentially just their magic. But it would take a lot more magic than if the potential was already there. So it's a lot easier to just grow hands out of her hands, basically, and grow extra legs and stuff. But yeah, I just so everyone knows, I doubt we'll do a Somnambulist season 2. I don't feel like there's anything left to be said for this story. I like where it went, I like where it ended, and I'm quite happy to let the characters rest or just rest, like chill.
Yeah.
I have to say, I like same as Kat. I didn't quite know what way the story would go because like the only prompt we had got was they're gonna go for some tutelage to like this mage, and I was like, chill, it's gonna be like a kind of Harry Potter-esque where it's like all set in the same like building and there's like some suspense and stuff. That totally didn't happen. I really liked having the guests on for the characters that they portrayed. It added a lot. And
Both Fallon and Josh were amazing.
yeah.
Very,
But
very
also,
good.
honestly, guys,
Gaia.
like the character development that happened here for every single one. I mean, I personally fucking loved it. Like not knowing what would happen and like the first episode, like having it in mind of it being like Sasha bullying Alfie and Nell kind of getting in between and Alfie just being so unhinged.
Yep.
Like that. And then how it ended. Yeah.
I wanted to bookend this a little bit. So how we did the intros with all individually. I wanted to do the outros all individually too. Just kind of like but yeah, as I said, no season 2 of Somnambulist. Unless I get some idea, but I really doubt I will. However, it's not the last time I'm gonna dip into World of Darkness. I have 2 things I very much want to do. I want to do a really out of the normal sphere of things Thin Blood campaign for VTM, where it's like the Camarilla and the Anox probably exist, but the Thin Bloods are so down the rungs that they don't know they exist, and the Thin Bloods don't know the upper echelons of vampires exist. Upper echelons don't know the Thin Bloods exist. They're just semi-vampires trying to live life. Could be interesting. But the main one I really want to do, and I'm now tempted to get you lot back for another like campaign in the future of another World of Darkness thing, is Geist, the Sin Eaters. I think that is the one I'm most interested in. Geist, the Sin Eaters is basically people who died get brought back by a kind of like spirit, alien entity type being. And they get another chance at life, but now they have like a passenger with them. So, and the powers in Geist are freaking bizarre. But I haven't really seen anyone do Geist, the Sin Eaters. I think the best way to give you, like, I think vampires are one of the, like, standard everyday vampires. Oh, better way to describe this. Sin Eaters are probably weaker than Thin Bloods. Like, they're super, super weak. Not powerful at all, just regular humans with a few, you know, kind of supernatural powers. So, yeah. Anywho, any more thoughts? Anything anyone wants to say? We probably should do outros when everyone's ready, but,
Yeah. Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good campaign.
Easy. Only cried 6 episodes or something.
yeah, just towards the end of it. You were fine to begin with.
That was good. I liked it.
GG.
Very,
Only
very good.
sad that only one person lost an eye.
And just an eye.
Just an eye.
Just an eye. Haha. Tee.
Oh, here's an interesting tidbit for everyone. There was a possibility to deal with the Voidkin and kill Jara. A different route you could have gone would be to confront them and fight them, realize that you have no chance. And what would have happened is Sesha would have sacrificed her magic to essentially beat them. Because that's such a large sacrifice that... So essentially you were going to be fighting them, it was going to be completely untenable, no possibility of hope. And I'd have been like, hey Sesha, you want to sacrifice some shit? So that was another possibility things could have gone in. But, yeah.
Jeez, that would have been a pretty big freaking sacrifice.
Oh yeah. It's funny.
I think the amounts of emotional damage were about equal right now. I
Yeah,
think we're good.
I agree.
Yeah, everyone shared a certain amount. Alfie got off reasonably light in the last episode or so, but yeah, she suffered earlier, so.
So much.
So let's do a run round and and outro ourselves, and then we'll head off to places that aren't Mage. Sorry, I have to say this. Now, you know, when you got your own individual outros, you understand the tweets where it's like, time to wake up, kids.
Time to wake up.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, sleepwalkers. Yeah. So anyway, let's go around. We'll start off with the person. You know, I made Kat cry a lot today. So let's start with Kat.
Hello, my name is Kat, and I am a variety content creator here on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/I'mKat. I do a bunch of art. I've been playing New World and Darktide, variety of games, lots of chaos. I absolutely love playing Sesha because I do usually enjoy sowing chaos, but this was more of a like.
This was a very different type of.
It was a very it was a very different type. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm just gonna set everything on fire. Yeah, it had like a purpose. It had like an order like to it, which I really, really liked. And yeah, I absolutely love all of my castmates because they're amazing and you should all go follow them. I'm totally not speaking from a biased point of view at all whatsoever. So please go follow them and give them your money.
If you don't go follow them, Sesha will stab your nan.
I'll do it.
Oh God.
I'll
She'll
do it.
do it. She's crazy.
I'll do it. I'll even eat their eyeball.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that did happen.
I forgot that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah.
She freaking ate an eyeball.
And I had in my mouth. He made me spit it out.
I did make you spit it out.
You say that like it's a kind of calling someone out. You made me spit out an eyeball. How dare you?
I did make you spit it out, and for good reason, because it was a fucking eyeball.
It was a
It was a zombie eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking gross, dude. Just don't you put it in your mouth.
But yeah.
Gross.
So
Yeah.
hot potato.
I will hot potato it onto Nell, who also had a wonderful time with their mentor.
Mm.
I love how you had such a long moment to think about who you would hot potato it to, whilst there's only 2 people you could do it to.
I mean, it's true, but I'm just like sitting here like, which one?
It's like Elfie
Eeny,
when she
meeny,
had to
miny.
choose.
Yeah.
Imagine what would have been different.
Yeah, imagine. Did I
hey,
want you to choose me?
that aside, hello, hi. I am Syrinx, a cosplayer and TTRPG player that you can find on Instagram and Twitter as such, and I have had the pleasure of playing Eleanor or Nell Meadows, our lovely, aggressive Space and Forces mage. I didn't when I started Nell as a concept, I had thought about her as like this righteous person and very much like I'll put my fist before my words. I'm happy I got to play out her not so intelligent parts. But I am very grateful for the opportunities that I got through the other 2 players, because it made it very easy to make this sort of, I immediately find someone to protect and I immediately find someone I can revolt against. But kind of, I loved having the moments where Sasha and Nell also bonded when they were with Rasputin, where it was like, I have made this inherent thing about Nell that she tries to do better. She knows she's not good. She knows there's still lots of things she can improve on, and that her vision of the world is like jarred. So she has this moments of like fallback of like, but maybe we can like kind of do this, and like I know it's not that good, but like and I love having those little moments with Sasha as well. And spurring on this very righteous and just a very strong Alfie now. I feel like a proud mom there, where it's like, oh my god, you've grown so much, honey.
I'm doing the thing.
So yeah, I absolutely loved playing this, and I will hot potato it to Andy.
Hi, I'm Bandy. I played Alfie, who had some earlier emotional damage, but had a happy ending, which was really, really nice. And a rarity in sheepy campaigns from my experience. First of all,
how dare you?
Am I wrong?
Go on.
How dare you? Go on.
I had so much fun. If you're looking for any other things I'm doing right now, it's not a lot online because I'm working this new job and it's been good, but I'm trying to do more art stuff. But you can find me at OMG Vandy everywhere. I am around and will likely be back here if Sheepy will have me at one point on another show.
Always.
In the future, once my schedule is making time for that. But yeah, I had a killer time. This was great. I really enjoy. I am a huge like high fantasy nerd, and I love that shit. And the ability to do any kind of magical stuff with, a sandbox type world to me is just like chef's kiss, beautiful, amazing, flawless, no notes. I love it. And with Nell, who I had never RP'd with before, and with Kat, who I've known for years, it's been an absolute pleasure to roleplay beside both of you. You are incredible RPers, and I am privileged to be able to spend this much time, creating characters and stuff with y'all. So I appreciate you both so much. And yeah, fucking subscribe to the fucking Patreon for the Wandering Inn, because, I mean, fucking do it, forehead.
We have
That's
more shows coming.
Yeah. And I'm gonna obviously hot potato it over to our amazing GM, Sheepy. Go for it, my guy.
Thank you. So, seeing as this is the finale of Somnambulist, I'm going to say I'm Sheepdog. This is The Wandering Inn. Follow, like, subscribe, do all the things that everyone always tells you to do. But before you do any of those things, go check out the cast. Great people. They do great things. Some of them do them in the shadows where no one can see. That's perfectly fine. We don't judge. And for the last time, we're going to head off. And I'm going to hit you with the outro, which is a lot more high energy than we're all feeling right now. But it's the outro I chose, so bear with it. Thank you, everyone. For the next few weeks leading into January, we will be doing reruns. It's going to be Moonkissed, and I may start rerunning Sunkissed as well in the future, so keep an eye out for that. But for now, yeah, we're going to head off, and we're going to go, and I've been awake for 22 hours, so I should probably sleep soon.
Go to bed. Go to bed.
Thanks for
Pass
watching,
out.
everyone. See you
Fucking
later.
bedtime.
Sorry that one. I tried
kill Zara.
Yes.
So it's like without that though, then yeah, she could totally make one.
It would, like, life mages can just create that shit out of essentially just their magic. But it would take a lot more magic than if the potential was already there. So it's a lot easier to just grow hands out of her hands, basically, and grow extra legs and stuff. But yeah, I just so everyone knows, I doubt we'll do a Somnambulist season 2. I don't feel like there's anything left to be said for this story. I like where it went, I like where it ended, and I'm quite happy to let the characters rest or just rest, like chill.
Yeah.
I have to say, I like same as Kat. I didn't quite know what way the story would go because like the only prompt we had got was they're gonna go for some tutelage to like this mage, and I was like, chill, it's gonna be like a kind of Harry Potter-esque where it's like all set in the same like building and there's like some suspense and stuff. That totally didn't happen. I really liked having the guests on for the characters that they portrayed. It added a lot. And
Both Fallon and Josh were amazing.
yeah.
Very,
But
very
also,
good.
honestly, guys,
Guile.
like the character development that happened here for every single one. I mean, I personally fucking loved it. Like not knowing what would happen and like the first episode, like having it in mind of it being like Sasha bullying Alfie and Nell kind of getting in between and Alfie just being so unhinged.
Yep.
Like that. And then how it ended. Yeah.
I wanted to bookend this a little bit. So you know how we did the intros with all individually? I wanted to do the outros all individually too. Just kind of like... But yeah, as I said, no season 2 of Somnambulist. Unless I get some idea, but I really doubt I will. However, it's not the last time I'm gonna dip into World of Darkness. I have 2 things I very much want to do. I want to do a really out of the normal sphere of things Thin Blood campaign for VTM, where it's like the Camarilla and the Anox probably exist, but the Thin Bloods are so down the rungs that they don't know they exist, and the Thin Bloods don't know the upper echelons of vampires exist. Upper echelons don't know the Thin Bloods exist. They're just semi-vampires trying to live life. Could be interesting. But the main one I really want to do, and I'm now tempted to get you lot back for another like campaign in the future of another World of Darkness thing, is Geist, the Sin Eaters. I think that is the one I'm most interested in. Geist, the Sin Eaters is basically people who died get brought back by a kind of like spirit alien entity type being, and they get another chance at life, but now they have like a passenger with them. So, and the powers in Geist are freaking bizarre. But I haven't really seen anyone do Geist, the Sin Eaters. I think the best way to give you, like, I think vampires are one of the, like, standard everyday vampires. Oh, better way to describe this. Sin Eaters are probably weaker than Thin Bloods. Like, they're super, super weak. Not powerful at all, just regular humans with a few, kind of supernatural powers. So, yeah. Anywho, any more thoughts? Anything anyone wants to say? We probably should do outros when everyone's ready, but,
Yeah. Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good campaign.
Easy. Only cried 5 out 6 episode or something.
Yeah, just towards the end of it. You were fine to begin with.
That was good. I liked it.
GG.
Very, very
Only
good.
sad that only one person lost an eye.
And just an eye.
Just an eye.
Just an eye, haha. Tee.
Mhm.
Oh, here's an interesting tidbit for everyone. There was a possibility to deal with the Voidkin and kill Jara. A different route you could have gone would be to confront them and fight them, realize that you have no chance. And what would have happened is Sesha would have sacrificed her magic to essentially beat them.
Oh.
Because that's such a large sacrifice that so essentially you were going to be fighting them, it was going to be completely untenable, no possibility of hope, and I'd have been like, hey Sesha, you want to sacrifice some shit? So that was another possibility things could have gone in, but yeah.
Jeez, that would have been a pretty big freaking sacrifice.
Oh yeah. It's funny.
I think the amounts of emotional damage were about equal right now. I
Yeah,
think we're good.
I agree.
Yeah, everyone shared a certain amount. Alfie got off reasonably light in the last episode or so, but yeah, she suffered earlier, so.
So much.
So let's do a run round and outro ourselves, and then we'll head off to places that aren't Mage. Sorry, I have to say this. Now, you know, when you got your own individual outros, you understand the tweets where it's like, time to wake up, kids.
Time to wake up.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, sleepwalkers. Yeah. So anyway, let's go around. We'll start off with the person. You know, I made Kat cry a lot today. So let's start with Kat.
Hello, my name is Kat, and I am a variety content creator here on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/I'mKat. I do a bunch of art. I've been playing New World and Darktide, variety of games, lots of chaos. I absolutely love playing Sesha because I do usually enjoy sowing chaos, but this was more of a like.
This was a very different type of.
It was a very it was a very different type. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm just gonna set everything on fire. Yeah, it had like a purpose. It had like an order like to it, which I really, really liked. And yeah, I absolutely love all of my castmates because they're amazing and you should all go follow them. I'm totally not speaking from a biased point of view at all whatsoever. So please go follow them and give them your money.
If you don't go follow them, Sesha will stab your nan.
I'll do it.
Oh God.
I'll
She'll
do it.
do it. She's crazy.
I'll do it. I'll even eat their eyeball.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that did happen.
I forgot that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah.
She freaking ate an eyeball.
No, I had in my mouth. He made me spit it out.
I did make you spit it out.
You say that like it's a kind of, you know, calling someone out. You made me spit out an eyeball. How dare you?
I did make you spit it out. And for good reason, because it was a fucking eyeball.
It was a.
It was a zombie eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking gross, dude. Just don't you put it in your mouth.
But yeah.
Gross.
So
Yeah.
hot potato.
I will hot potato it onto Nell, who also had a wonderful time with their mentor.
Mm.
I love how you like had such a long moment to think about who you would hot potato it to, whilst there's only 2 people you could do it to.
I mean, it's true, but I'm just like sitting here like, which one?
It's like Elfie
Eeny,
when she
meeny,
had to
miny.
choose.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Imagine what would have been different.
Yeah, imagine. Did I
hey,
want you to choose me?
that aside, hello, hi. I am Syrinx, a cosplayer and TTRPG player that you can find on Instagram and Twitter as such, and I have had the pleasure of playing Eleanor or Nell Meadows, our lovely, aggressive Space and Forces mage. I adored. I didn't. When I started Nell as a concept, I had thought about her as like this righteous person and very much like I'll put my fist before my words. I'm happy I got to play out her not so intelligent parts. But I am very grateful for the opportunities that I got through the other two players because it made it very easy to make this sort of I immediately find someone to protect and I immediately find someone I can revolt against. But kind of, I loved having the moments where Sasha and Nell also bonded when they were with Rasputin, where it was like, I have made this inherent thing about Nell that she tries to do better. She knows she's not good. She knows there's still lots of things she can improve on, and that her vision of the world is like jarred. So she has this moments of like fallback of like, but maybe we can like kind of do this, and like I know it's not that good, but like and I love having those little moments with Sasha as well. And spurring on this very righteous and just a very strong Alfie now. I feel like a proud mom there, where it's like, oh my god, you've grown so much, honey.
I'm doing the thing.
So yeah, I absolutely loved playing this, and I will hot potato it to Andy.
Hi, I'm Bandy. I played Alfie, who had some earlier emotional damage, but had a happy ending, which was really, really nice. And a rarity in sheepy campaigns from my experience. First of all,
how dare you?
Am I wrong?
Go on.
How dare you? Go on.
I had so much fun. If you're looking for any other things I'm doing right now, it's not a lot online because I'm working this new job and it's been good, but I'm trying to do more art stuff. But you can find me at OMG Vandy everywhere. I am around and will likely be back here if Sheepy will have me at one point on another show.
Always.
In the future, once my schedule is making time for that. But yeah, I had a killer time. This was great. I really enjoy. I am a huge like high fantasy nerd, and I love that shit. And the ability to do any kind of magical stuff with, a sandbox type world to me is just like chef's kiss, beautiful, amazing, flawless, no notes. I love it. And with Nell, who I had never RP'd with before, and with Kat, who I've known for years, it's been an absolute pleasure to roleplay beside both of you. You are incredible RPers, and I am privileged to be able to spend this much time, creating characters and stuff with y'all. So I appreciate you both so much. And yeah, fucking subscribe to the fucking Patreon for the Wandering Inn, because fucking do it, forehead.
We have
That's
more shows coming.
Yeah. And I'm gonna obviously hot potato it over to our amazing GM, Sheepy. Go for it, my guy.
Thank you. So seeing as this is the finale of Somnambulist, I'm going to say I'm Sheepdog. This is the Wandering Inn. Follow, like, subscribe, do all the things that everyone always tells you to do. But before you do any of those things, go check out the cast. Great people. They do great things. Some of them do them in the shadows where no one can see. That's perfectly fine. We don't judge. And for the last time, we're going to head off. And I'm going to hit you with the outro, which is a lot more high energy than we're all feeling right now. But it's the outro I chose, so bear with it. Thank you, everyone. For the next few weeks leading into January, we will be doing reruns. It's going to be Moon Kissed, and I may start rerunning Sun Kissed as well in the future, so keep an eye out for that. But for now, yeah, we're going to head off, and we're going to go, and I've been awake for 22 hours, so I should probably sleep soon.
Go to bed. Go to bed.
Thanks for
Pass
watching,
out.
everyone. See you
Fucking
later.
bedtime.
Sorry, that was for I tried to go over, but... Yeah, here we go.
Doing something.